Alright guys, it's climb day. Essentially I just showed you kind of what my pack looked like. I brought actual sticks, you know, because I do the one stick climbing. Otherwise I would have had these packed right on the bottom of this pack. 3 or 4 usually get you pretty high. And another thing I didn't mention in the series so far is something for your knees, whether it be after you get in the tree, whether it be a pad on the tree. Some people put their backpack against the tree and just put their knees in that. Because the way I climb, I actually run some Vibram knee pads, and that seems to work well for me. So I'm going to show you a regular climb. We're only going to do 2 sticks. Usually we're going, like I said, 3 or 4. And we're going to set the platform and show you kind of the whole routine of going through it. Okay guys, I'm going to show you the initial stick set for as far as climbing up for saddle hunting. So, you know, this is the most basic way you can set this thing up. Now, that being said, Ed and I filmed a bunch of different climbs, and this part I've had to come back and redo just because we didn't hit record or something. So I don't have all my gear in pack, but you're still going to get the idea. So essentially what I'm going to do is set this stick. Alright, I'm going to take this, it's called a daisy chain or the strap or cam buckle or whatever, go around the tree and then hook it back to what's called a bursa button. Okay, some of them's got different time attachments, cam cleats, Prusik pull knots, all kinds of stuff. Okay, and then you see this is not stick 1 because it's got a hanger on it. Okay, because you want to be able to hang that on your side before you ascend the tree, so you can start taking them off and building yourself a ladder on the way up, which you'll see that in the next few little clips. But when you get to the tree, the first thing you're going to want to do, obviously, you know, and I've got the saddle on, I've wore it in. Okay, so what I do is get this against the tree, the standoffs or sharp teeth in the tree. Take the slack out of it, lean my chest or my stomach on it, and I've got plenty to lean on it. Come around, try not to get this all twisted up, but you want it kind of even to begin with. Alright, and see, these kind of open up. They're a little bit tricky. A lot of people go away from them because of that. And it's kind of in between too. So what you can do when that happens is kick your stick out like this at the bottom and just slide that over. That way when you do pull it back around onto the tree, like so, you're going to open these up, and you see that's pretty tight. I might have got a little ambitious, a little high on this one, but you get the picture. So when you set down on that, put your weight in it, center it, you're going to see it bites into this tree, and I mean it makes this thing as tight as it's going to be. So when you put your weight on there, it's going to bite into that tree. You're going to be able to pull the next stick off and then set your next part of the ladder. So the most essential stuff you're going to do here, make sure your bridge is not out so it does not get hung like this in the stick and pull one loose on your way up. You want it to be pretty short, and then usually this will be in a dump pouch or something like that. I like to just throw mine in a little knot there called a daisy chain. I actually have a different video a few videos back if you want to learn how to daisy chain it and don't want to put it in a pouch. So this is a rappel rope. Usually you've got an 8-foot tether when you're just getting into this, unless you're just going all in and going to one stick and whatnot right off the rip. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just put that through the loop for now. Before you go up this tree, connect yourself. You're going to come around and hook to the other red loop on these cruisers. Not all of them is red, but they got a lineman's loop. And then you'll have a Prusik knot or some kind of device here that you can pull yourself close. That way this will hold while you work with your hands and you're not struggling and off balance. Now I'm going to try to make this first step, it's a little high. But when I get up here, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hook my tether in so I have 2 points of contact to the tree, and if something happens, one don't catch me, the other one will. That being said, most of the time I just climb with my linemen. Do not do as I do. Do as I say to do. Be safe, okay? And at this part of the climb right here, I don't know if you can see me up here, but what I would do is I would pull the stick off my saddle, do the same thing I just did down here, set it so I have another one to climb. Now you kind of get used to what you're supposed to, like your distance, what you're most comfortable with. But when you get to here, you need to put your tether on the tree, okay? And then you need to take your carabiner and your knot, and then you need to tie yourself in right here at point 2. Of course, I didn't have it in my bag. It's one of the things I forgot. But you would need to tie in here, and then whenever you build that ladder, you would move this up. Then you would go up. And then you would take a stick off, set it on the tree. You would just move the stuff up. That way, there's no way you can fall out of this tree. And if you do, you're only going to fall a couple inches. You're going to, more than likely, not sustain an injury. But next clip will show you what I do as far as when I get the stick 2. Now, once you put those 4 sticks up, like I said, we're only doing 2, you would take and you would put your platform. This is what you're going to stand on. Some people need a little more space, some people need a little less space, and obviously you would make you a loop to put on your saddle to carry it on your back so you could reach around and grab it, or you could carry it in a pack and you would take your pack off, essentially set it in front of you, get it out, put your pack back on, and set your platform. So just like you were setting a tree stand, you want to set it while it's closed against the tree. You're going to come around, hook straight back to the Versa button on the front of the post. That way when you open it, it does what's called camming over. These teeth bite into the tree. So you want to be mindful that your ladder or your sticks, or however you get off the tree, is on this side. You want to put it on your dominant side. So if I put it on this side, I'm expecting the deer to come from my left because I'm right-handed, okay? Or you can go on the opposite side and you expect them to come from that way. So where this goes is pretty relevant to what side or where you're trying to hunt, but we'll still be able to walk around the tree and we'll show you that too. It's gonna sit down. I want to be able to step into it. Of course, this is me giving you the no BS climb, because this is the kind of stuff that you're going to have to get used to. And then another thing to note, you can see how my lineman dropped down. You always want it to be a little bit higher than your hips so you can sit into it while you're working. Don't get your strap in there. Alright, so I've pulled this strap tight around the tree. The platform is closed, so when I open it, essentially, it's going to cam over and stick into that tree, and then it gives me a spot to stand. There is a leveling bolt also in there, so if it's tilted one way or the other, you can change it. Alright, now we kind of changed angles so you can see me get onto this platform. I'm still on the first stick, okay? So with the linemen, we're going to have to go around this. This being said, whenever you have this tether locked in, you'll be able to still be connected to the tree and not worry about if something happens. So let me get up to that next stick, put some weight on it. I like to seat them. I'm going to pop your knot a little bit looser, pull it tight, and you see I'm up above it. And always just advance your tether, make sure it's above you, so if you do happen to fall or something happen, you're not going far.
So my next move would be to step in this platform. That being said, do not step into this platform unless this is hooked up. If you decide not to climb with your tether, that's up to you. But do not step into this without your tether hooked up. I can't express that enough, because these things will kick to one side or the other if they're not super tight. Just like that, you see? You see there's a little wiggle, so I'm going to show you how to fix that. And of course, I try not to side load it knowing that it's not super tight. A little unnerving when you get up in the tree, so definitely practice this stuff at the ground level. But what you're going to do, let your lineman out just a little. You're still hooked in, so don't get too crazy. You're going to step on this post. This is known as toe hooking. You're going to take your toe, hook the front of the platform, push it down so it bites harder. So you do this, you're going to pick it up, and then you're going to push it back down to open it. And you can see how solid that is now. I'm not moving it. So when I get up here, what I try to do, look at everything, check everything, make sure my knot's here. Where this knot is, where this tether is going to decide your comfort of the day. A lot of times when I'm up, I'll go ahead and pull my pack up, take my strap out, put it on, so I can hook my bow up, put my pack on the tree, everything like that. So let me adjust this down. Everybody has their own place for their tether. Everybody likes it a little different. They get a little more comfort in a different spot. So I'm going to try to get mine kind of where I want it. So what I like to do is pull this a little loose, and I sit down in this so this knot will grab. So I'm already locked in before I undo at least one rope. So I like to sit down here like so. And then I'm looking to see if this knot's grabbed me, and I'm making sure this is tight. I'm making sure this is not really holding me, it's just support me. Looking at my ropes, kind of checking everything. Once I get here and see that I'm safe, I'm gonna out of the tree, or where we go, how we do it, because once you're in this tree, this locked in, this is locked in, you're literally able to start learning, dropping the knee, making these shots, rotating at the hips, and then again, where your sticks is crucial, because if you need to, you can get off here and start making these other side shots.
He showed you how to get up in the tree with the sticks, setting your platform, getting your tether where you want it to be. So now as far as setting up to get ready to hunt, what I do is I don't take my, because I'm scared, I don't like heights. So I keep my lineman's on until I get everything set where I want it and I'm ready to start hunting. So I'm going to leave my lineman's belt far enough out to where I can stick my knees in the tree. This probably isn't the most convenient way to do this, but I'll take my pack off. I'll carry it up in the tree if I'm using sticks. I'll dig down in my pack, hunt up my gear strap, pack back on, just so I can keep it out of the way. Set my pack, because I use a bow hanger that's different from this, and I use this just for my pack, and if I got something else, you know, I want to hang my hat on it. So I'll take my bow hanger, which I don't have with me, and I'll set it up high. But for the sake of the demonstration, I'll put everything up high. And if I'm putting my pack up high, I'm going to keep it out of my line of sight. You know, that way it's not blocking any of my shots. And I put a large S carabiner on the top strap of my backpack, so I can hook it in. And sometimes just for fun I'll hook my waist strap, your kidney belt, whatever you want to call it, around the tree, because I keep my rangefinder in the side pocket and I keep my light in the other side pocket, so it just makes for convenient reach. And typically that's all I ever need to get out of there. So it's completely out of my line of sight, so it's not blocking any of my shots. And then when I'm ready to take my bow, I'll grab my bow rope, the gear rope, unhook, and I'll set that on my other strap. And then from there, I'll just wrap my gear rope up, tie it back, and there I'm all set. I'm ready to hunt. So I'll take my lineman's off, and with these big carabiners and a Kong duck, if you have it, be careful not to tink your bow or rifle or your pack and make a bunch of noise. And I'll just stuff this back down in my dump pouch. And you're ready to hunt. So you